His voice was strained, a little too careful, as though he'd rehearsed the question. I looked up from the pill bottle in my hand. The label was almost unreadable now, the words blurred by time and too many empty hands trying to steady it. It wasn't the question that hit me, it was the look on his face. I could feel the weight of my silence pressing in, the tension gathering in the air between us. He was too perfect, too well dressed, his fingers too careful as they tapped against the marble of my kitchen counter. So polished, so insulated from the world he'd left me in. I didn't answer him immediately. I wasn't sure how to answer him without revealing the abyss of desperation that stretched out before me. My breath caught. "I have to choose between my medicine and eating, sweetheart," I said it without emotion. The words didn't come with a sting anymore, not after all these years. I watched him freeze. His eyes went pale, the blood draining from his face as if I had slapped him. I felt something stir, but it wasn't sympathy. It was disgust. He turned quickly, muttered something about having to go, and fled, like a man who couldn't bear the weight of his own guilt. But I didn't care about his guilt. I cared about the truth. And the truth was that I'd known for months, maybe years, that something wasn't right. It started subtly. She was always too busy, too important for me. My daughter-in-law, the one I'd raised my son for, was always too busy for me. At first, I chalked it up to her career, her stress, her priorities. But the little things began slipping through the cracks. Phone calls that were too quick, meetings that didn't quite add up, the way she'd avoid eye contact or turn her back on me when I came into the room. I could feel the thread of doubt growing, inch by inch, until one day I couldn't ignore it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to know. But I did it anyway. I'd found the receipt in his coat pocket, the one he'd left lying carelessly on the kitchen table. It had the name of a hotel on it, a hotel where they stayed, not for a business trip, but for a weekend. I didn't need to see more. I already knew. It was a small, quiet truth, but it was enough to make the pieces fall together. My own son, my own flesh and blood, had been lying to me. All those phone calls, all those visits, all those promises, they had been built on lies, and she was the architect of it all. I didn't tell anyone, not yet. The thought of confronting her, confronting him, twisted something deep inside of me, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't leave it alone. So I moved quietly. I played my part, smiling, nodding, pretending nothing had changed. All the while, I watched, I listened, I waited. It was the small things at first, the odd timing of their appointments, the way their phones buzzed in the middle of the night, their voices a little too nervous when they spoke to me. And then there was the night I stayed up late, the darkness in my apartment stretching long and silent, when I heard the whispered words. I didn't need to see the message. I didn't need to read the text. I already knew. I waited for the results. The DNA test I'd secretly arranged. The blood samples I had sent for analysis when no one was looking. I never asked questions. I never needed to. I already had the evidence I needed. One quiet, mundane morning, the email arrived. The confirmation. The proof. My hands didn't shake as I opened it. 99.9% probability of paternity. It was done. I didn't need to confront him, not directly. He already knew. He had seen the subtle change in me. He had felt the distance, the coldness that began to seep in. I stood in the doorway of his office the next morning, watching him from across the room. He didn't look up at me immediately, but I knew he felt me there. The report was in my hand. "Why didn't you tell me, son?" I asked, my voice steady. His face flickered. His eyes darkened for a split second before he masked it. "I don't know what you mean, Grandma." He said it slowly, as if testing the waters, as if I could still be deceived. I handed him the paper. He looked at it, the color draining from his face. How did you know?" His voice broke. But I didn't speak. I didn't need to. The truth had already cracked through his mask. I didn't need to say anything more. His shock was enough. His guilt had already crushed him. I turned and walked out of the room, leaving him alone in the quiet aftermath of his own deception. And then I closed the door softly behind me. I had won. I didn't care about his excuses. I didn't care about his apologies. I never would again. I sit here now, watching the world move around me. Everything feels distant, like I'm no longer a part of it. I have my clarity now, my power. It doesn't matter that I lost my son, my family. They were never mine to keep. The last thing I say to myself before the darkness takes over is this: the mask has fallen, and I no longer care to look at what's underneath.